G'day guys, Dan from Spartan Tactical Gear here. Now today this is our first introductory video on how to modify your blaster. A lot of guys are pretty keen to do battery upgrades, especially on the P90, because they do suffer from a lack of fire rate and punch. So yeah, what we're going to do is go over a little bit of an intro here. So first of all, we've got ourselves a 1300 milliamp nanotech battery, 7.4 volt. So this one here is going to be replacing the standard unit that comes with the blaster, which is a 700 milliamp 6 volt battery. So this is pretty lackluster, this little unit here, so we'll just throw that one away. Now we'll need a set of precision screwdrivers, as you can see here, preferably small Phillips head screwdrivers. Make sure you don't cheap out too much on your tools, because if you strip the screws in your blaster, you'll be in for a bit of a frustrating time trying to get them out. So here we are. This is an unmodified P90. Obviously this one's received a paint job and a couple of the items from the STG store, as you can see by the scope and so forth on there. That's a red dot hollow and also a laser sight. So we've got those available through the store. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take apart the actual carcass of the blaster, because as you can see, if we open up our back cover here, there's not much space in there. So what we're going to have to do, see if I can get into the light a little bit for you. There we go. Okay, so you can see in there, there's no way that bigger battery is going to actually fit into that little cavity. So we're going to have to open this up and modify the internal so we can actually place it in there. So let's get busy. Take the silencer off. Now, our little screw points, if you look around you'll see there's fakes, but there's also real ones as well. So press it nice and firm, just so you can make sure you break the thread and don't strip the head of the screw. And work your way around the body of the P90. Now, you'll also have to make sure you've got something on standby to put your screws in, because you don't want to lose those little links. So what I'll do, just to speed up the process of the video, is show you where the screw points are. So obviously there's one there, one there. Alright guys, so now we've got all the screws out of the P90 body. So run right around the outside. There's a couple of central screws here and also one little hidden one at the top here. That's right next to the clip release mechanism. Okay, and that's also a little spring inside there. So make sure you put all your pieces in a little container so you don't lose them. Next step is to lift this apart very carefully. Okay, like so. Now, what we're going to do, well, I'll just explain this quickly for those of you that haven't actually seen the inside of one of these. So basically this is the gearbox assembly. Okay, obviously the gels run through this tube here, and then you've got your trigger assembly. Now be very careful not to lose the little spring that's in the trigger there. If that ever goes, you'll have a hell of a time trying to find that again. So make sure you keep the whole assembly together, like so. Pop that out and put it over here. That'll just save any chance of it popping out and disappearing forever. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fit the Nanotech 1300 milliamp LiPo battery. Okay, so 7.4 volt, and we're going to actually fit it into the stock here. Now, this won't actually fit this particular battery straight off the bat, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the Dremel over here that I've got prepared earlier and take out this channel running through here. So this is a reinforcement. It's on the top and the bottom section of the body as well, so left and right. But realistically it won't need it, because once that's in there, that's going to press together and then get held together with the screws anyway. So if we install that about here, then we'll be able to tuck all of our harness back up into the stock of the blaster, and no one will be the wiser that you're running an upgraded version. So let's get dremeling. First things first, grab your safety glasses. I find the ones that come with the blasters actually work quite well if you can't find your shed ones. So I'll pop those on. Alright, and here we go. There we have it. Oh. So now we're ready to take a larger battery. So we'll just pop that into a little slot there. Okay, make sure your wires are exposed in the right direction. And what we'll do, actually I've done that a little bit back to front, we'll go on this side, pop that down in there. You can see how much lower that's now sitting into that little cavity. And if we make sure all our wires are in the right position, everything's good there. We'll get our trigger assembly, reinsert that back where it belongs. There we go, just like so. Okay, so everything else, we've got our fire selection switch, or our safety switch as it's called. Pop that back in. We should be able to drop that cover back over the top. Make sure it's just sitting in the right position. Oh, got a little wire in the way there. There we go. And there we have it. One battery upgrade. Simple as that. So this will need to have the terminals changed from the standard terminals I received with this battery. So I'm going to opt for these here. Any type of connection you can use, Tamiya connections, Dean's connections, anything you like if you can get it at a good price. These ones here, they require a little bit of brazing to actually fit up to the wires. And you'll see there's 2 red and 2 black. So what you do is you basically cut these 2 connections obviously one at a time so you don't arc out the battery. Join your 2 reds, join your 2 blacks, and away you go. And you've also got access to the balance plug here as well for lipo charging if you want to go to that extended charging anyway. But here we are, so instant upgrade. Also adds a little bit more weight to the stock of the blaster as well, so a little bit more realism. Yeah, nice and easy, guys. So there we are. Let's get this thing put back together again and give it a test fire. Cheers. The 7.4 volt 1300 milliamp battery, a quick test fire on the P90. Off you go, lad. Now it's a much better fire rate. Much better fire rate, eh? What do you reckon?
Oh yeah, that.
Happy with that?
Double the fire rate.
Nice. And the usual P90 bullet jam. Yeah, ammo. Yeah. Now, what do you reckon? Should we get some harder gel ammo for that?
Definitely.
It needs it, doesn't it? Yeah, way too soft. Alright guys, there you go. There's the working mod.